Okay, and we're about ready to begin. All right, there we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode, I think, 4 now of Once Upon a Game, a storytelling game show where we feature a bunch of GMless story games to play. And this week has been House of Reeds, a small little story game about a family and their dwelling that's written by a Seattle native named Sam Kabo Ashwell. So today, I'm kind of the host and facilitator of the game as well as the show. I'm EricVulgaris. This show goes live every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. Pacific. You can also catch my VODs on YouTube. With me today is my good friend Robert. Robert, how are you doing today?
Good.
Awesome. So how about you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Oh, geez. Well, I'm Robert. I am a fellow gamer and game designer, hopeful. Been doing it for really strong for the past few years. Yeah. I'm bad at talking about myself. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, so this game is a game called House of Reeds. It's a story game, and it's all about a home. And what home kind of means is sort of general. It doesn't have to be your standard typical family. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to be exploring kind of what it kind of means to be a family, and we're going to do it back and forth through just kind of storytelling and sort of the rules of the game. So all we kind of need to play this game is a die rolling mechanic, because typically you play with cards. Instead, we're just going to do a die roll to simulate it, as well as just kind of the freestyle freehand paintbrush. And well, thank you very much for AP Gaming for hosting me today. So shout out to everyone who's joining us from here. Oh, Swargula. Yeah. Thanks, Swargula. Swargula is a cool guy. I've been working with him about my previous video about sandbox design.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. So the first thing we're going to do is Robert and I, we're going to come up with the setting of the game. So we're going to just kind of go over a couple basic features, like is it the real world? Is it fantasy? So these games have no prep to them. Like, we didn't talk about anything beforehand, what we want to play in terms of like what do we want to explore today. So we're all going to do this ad hocly. So let's get started. So Robert, what kind of setting do you think you want to tell with this family? What are you feeling? Like fantasy, modern, sci-fi?
Um, hmm. I would like to do uh like 0 AD, like
Oh,
caveman.
well, that's you mean like 20,000 BC?
Yeah, 20,000 BC.
Yeah,
But it's 0 AD from just as a yeah
sure, like Stone
for
Age,
year zero. I mean,
like Stone Age or like early Bronze Age.
yeah.
Dope. Okay, yeah, that's. I'm feeling that too. Okay. So is this going to be like real Stone Age or somewhat fictional Stone? Like,
I mean, I would say um Stone Age the way that people in the Stone Age thought the world was.
okay, so like kind of historical Stone Age, not like there's still dinosaurs or something.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
historical Stone
yeah.
Age, but like what the people believed back then, like all of the like that's real. Like,
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, definitely. Okay. So then, is our prevailing kind of like family social unit going to be like a tribe?
I would say so. Yeah,
Okay.
that would make sense.
Okay, so it's going to be like their like first town, kind of, or like
Almost, yeah,
the
yeah,
cave that they're
yeah.
in. All right. Okay, I'm seeing this. Okay. And then the last thing to figure out would be kind of like the seasons or like climate, and I guess we're going to be just doing regular seasons.
Yeah, I would say
Okay,
so.
like not the Ice Age or something. Okay.
No.
Okay, cool. All right. So now we got the setting kind of done. The next thing that we're going to do is start coming up with 3 additional cards that we're able to draw in the deck. These are sort of like just extra types of cards that kind of flavor the game. So, Robert, I think you have a copy of the rules. And
Yes,
for everyone else, I'm going to bring over the list of cards on screen here. So, all the ones with capital letters are cards that are automatically included in the game. But starting with Faith, and besides Build, these are all like extra cards. And so I think what we're going to do is you're going to pick one that you want to see in the story. I'm going to pick one, and then we're going to like just work together and figure out what the last one's going to be.
Okay, and where do I find?
It's in the PDF. It's in like the last pages of the PDF.
Okay, the last pages. Okay.
This game's free, by the way. So anyone who's looking for this game afterwards who loves it or wants to try it, I'll put the links in the chat as well as in the VODs for you to play it.
All right, so I pick a card.
Yeah. It's got to be one of the lowercase ones.
Right. I would pick Ritual.
Okay, so you want to see certain acts that are always done in a special way. Cool.
Yeah.
I want to see violence.
Okay, yeah, I like it.
So I'm going to go back to the regular page here and start adding in Ritual. Going to add in violence. Yeah, it's free as in beer. All right, now let's work on the last one.
Okay.
I'm feeling something either like Aspire or Crafts or like Discovery. Something like buildy, like.
Yeah.
I think I would vote. I'm going to vote for Discovery.
Yeah. I'm good for Discovery.
Okay.
I like that.
Cool. All right, we're going to pick Discovery as our last one. The Discovery Channel. Okay. So, the next step of the rules is that we're actually just going to go ahead and start making our sort of like quote-unquote rooms of our house. So, like, rooms is very liberal, but it's basically just going to be places where scenes happen that our family sort of inhabits. So that could be kind of outside the cave. It could be parts inside of the cave, kind of like, just the surrounding area.
Right. Okay. So.
You'll start, and then I'll go, and then you'll go, then I'll end.
All right. Do you want me to physically draw?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you're going to do is you're going to be drawing the room and then kind of explain the details that you're adding.
Okay.
The only thing you don't explain is like exterior windows, but since this is kind of like a cave and sort of a primitive society, there's not really that to explain. So.
Okay.
So we're doing caveman drama.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna draw a room like such.
Okay.
And it will be called the dark room.
So are there any like details in the dark room?
Yeah, so I mean it's kept dark, like
Sure.
purposely, like it's kept away, like it's a smaller-ish room that's kept away from all of the other areas in the cave.
Okay.
And it's like the like I guess the ritual room, it's like a spiritual thing. Like it's a room you go to with like this like for weird shit to happen. Like if it's the if we're talking about like
Okay.
the shaman goes in there and like smokes like
Okay.
all the drugs and
So,
has an experience.
are there any like? Is there any sort of like furniture or anything like, or furnishings in the room?
No, no, I would say it's probably completely bare.
Okay, interesting. All right,
Yeah,
all right. Typically, you add details, but
yeah,
I think that will work. I'm
yeah.
curious to see. All right, I know what I'm gonna make.
No, of course I break the game with my first suggestion.
So this thing that looks like a stomach is going to be called. It's kind of like the center area and gathering of the cave. Some big points of it is that in the center of the room and in the roof, there's actually a hole in the roof that allows light to come in. So, and it all kind of like beams down into like the middle area. So
Okay.
this is sunlight. I kind of like sun. Just go with it. Sunlight, and surrounding that is sort of like a round type assortment of rocks, or it's kind of like, or like the light kind of comes down onto like a larger slab,
Uh-huh.
um, and then it's just kind of surrounding this whole area are like just a bunch of like furs of like like bison furs and that kind of stuff where people sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna call this room the Sunwell. All right, back to you.
All right. I mean, does it have to be a room? Could I do like it has to be it takes place inside, or could it be like the front essentially front porch of the
No, that counts. You can do like the
Okay.
front porch, like the outside of the cave.
Okay. All right. I will do just that then.
Totally.
Where is the best place to draw it? Gonna go. Whoop. If my drawing isn't terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No, it's fine.
I don't even know what to call it. The mouse. Or, ooh, the maw.
Yeah, I was gonna say the maw sounds awesome.
Um, so yeah, there's the maw. It's just this kind of triangular, like almost kind of slabby, like you know how slate looks.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Uh,
totally.
yeah, it kind of looks
It's
like
like
that, and then there's this kind of switchback. I imagine the cave's kind of on a hill,
mm.
and so like there's this dirt switchback that's just been made by walking. Um, and there is a um, tanning rack. Oop. of where they tan all of their great beasts. And what else would there be? I'm thinking there is. There's a fire pit like built into the front of it.
Okay.
Where they like they'll have like it's less of like a like cooking fire pit and more of like a
heat
and like ceremony.
Okay.
Like they'll have like, you know, the family, like, because when they want to like essentially party under the stars, they like, you know, do it on this big porch. There you go. There's my
That's pretty good fire. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So the next things are determining sort of like the view sheds, which means kind of like where each room kind of is supposed to lead to, or what have you. So why don't you start with the maw? Where does the maw lead to? Because these rooms don't necessarily have to connect. There could be like other rooms that are just off camera.
Okay. So this could be any. I just have to think of a room.
Yeah, just a general idea. You could just say it leads to a dark part of the cave that no one knows, or like, to be determined, that no one goes down there. You know, or it could be it leads to the dark room, or etc.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it leads to the sunwell. Like it's right outside the sunwell.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, and then that means for the sunwell, that one entrance goes right directly to the mall, and then the other one, I'm sure it branches at some point to the dark room, but I'm sure there's other sort of like paths and passages that exist in this cave system.
Yeah.
So we might have the chance to uncover that later. So the next thing to do would be to come up with characters. And what I'm going to do, start coming up with characters. So when we create a character, all you got to do is come up with a name, how old they are, and a brief description. So how about you start? Because these characters are essentially our family that we're going to use to describe the rest of the scenes.
Okay. All right, so I could just grab one of these and.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my first character will be.
I'm gonna move them all up here just so it's all easier to see.
Yeah. My first character will be Aya. She is 13. And a brief description of like physical description or just who they are.
Either. Probably who they are is probably more important.
Yeah. All the words. I'm trying to think. I can't spell.
I also realized I didn't make my 4th room. So I'm going to start making that.
Oh, jeez. Do I have like desires or like?
No, just rabble rousing upstarts kind of. That's good enough for now.
Okay.
And so the last thing I was gonna make, since I was foolishly forgot to make my own final spot, I am making a spot outside of the mall, like perhaps near the base. That's sort of surrounded by trees, but in the middle of it is an opening, and so I'm just gonna call it the glade.
Okay.
So I'm going to make some super awesome trees. Yeah. So there's like a single tree in the glade, but
All
mostly it's a place for relaxing.
right. Okay.
Okay, so now back to my characters. So, you made, is it Aya?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Aya. And I will make Uru. He is 50. And he is the tribe shaman. I'm gonna make him the tribe shaman and father of Aya, because I can do that. Do you?
All right. All right. I'm gonna make Greg.
User disconnected from your channel. Disconnected.
I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make Grun.
Grunt.
Or no, sorry, Bert. He is 35-ish. And he is tribe chief. And he is brother to.
Nice. All right, and the last family member to start with will be Malika.
Okay.
And she is 19. And she is the, yes, I'm going to say unwed, but just meaning that she's not married. Unwed, not that there's like a marriage ceremony, maybe. I don't know. But just, she's currently available. She's unwed, and she is the eldest daughter of Urt. So, like, the daughter of the chief.
Okay.
Cool. So now that we made our characters, we can actually begin play. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around and we're going to draw a card / roll dice. And whatever number comes up, that's the card that we play. And whatever card comes out, it's without replacement. So we're always going to be going through the deck until it tells us to reshuffle. And you kind of set the season of what's going on. It doesn't have to be in chronological order. So like Robert could frame a scene in winter, and then I could go back and frame a scene in spring. And you just kind of do whatever the card kind of tells you to do, like frame a scene about tradition, and then kind of like see what happens. So Robert, do you feel comfortable starting, or do you think you might want to see one be played?
Let me see one be played, to be honest.
Okay, no problem. All right, so then I'll go first. So I'm going to roll a d16. 4. Change. All right, so I have to describe how the outside world is changing and show how family members experience this. Ooh, all right. So we're going to go to summer of this year, of year 20,000 BC or whatever it is.
You're right.
And we're going to be in the glade. And we're going to be in the glade with Uru and Aya. And in the glade, Aya loves to play there. And she's begun picking up these pretty flowers. And Uru spots Aya playing and picking up these flowers and quickly tells Aya to drop them. And you cannot touch these flowers ever again. They're bad. But Aya describes to Uru how they've just been kind of growing since spring, and the glade's getting almost like overrun at this point of these flowers, like encroaching from the north. So like there's some sort of like strange plant that's begun to take root in the glade that the shaman doesn't like. So I'm going to draw some of the plants in the glade. Look at these plants. God, these plants are so good.
Those actually are pretty good puts, like I have to say.
So the north part of the glade is taken over by the plants. So that's how the outside world is changing, and that's my turn. And so now it's back to you, Robert.
Okay.
And I'm going to mark off that we rolled a 4.
And so just 1d16.
Mm-hmm.
11. Conflict.
So the conflict card states, show how the needs and desires of the family members are at odds.
Okay. Alright, and do I...
So what you're going to do, you pick the room now, then you pick
Okay.
the characters and the setting in terms of time, like the season.
Okay.
And then you just describe what happens.
Alright. So I would say that it's in the maw.
Okay.
And this scene also contains Aya, but it contains Ert. And Aya is like Aya's been found. Like Ert has just like walked out into the maw. Oh, and sorry, it's in fall.
Okay.
So like the tribe is starting to prepare for winter,
Mm-hmm.
and Ert has walked out into the maw, and he sees Aya essentially working with the tanning and like the leather that they're making.
Mm-hmm.
which is she's not supposed to do. Like,
Okay.
specifically, like that's a man's job,
Okay.
and
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna
yeah,
ask you that. Okay.
yeah. And so Aya like is like basically like they have an argument where Aya's just like, why can't I do this? Like I'm just as good as anybody. I know it better than anybody, and Ert is like, is yelling back at her that like she should know her place. Like she's always doing shit like this. I heard a few like moons ago you disobeyed your own father, and like, and it ends with Aya like straight up just grabbing one of the like
Tanning thing.
leathers,
Yeah.
yeah,
The
tanning
leathers. Yeah.
things, and just like running down to the glade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Some rabble rousing. So I'll mark conflict, and then I'll go. Nine. Joy. Oh, awesome. Okay. This is in the Sunwell, and a hunter, like perhaps a local hunter, like perhaps not of this family, has come back from a hunt and brought like I don't know, some sort of fauna, like a saber tooth, right? Like he comes back with a like saber tooth skin, and like presents it to the family in the Sunwell, and says, "Hey, um, I bring this as tribute. I just killed it the other day. Um, I want to ask Uru and Ert for Malika's hand in marriage." Oh, this is winter, so it's like snowy outside or whatever. Like you hear like the snow and
Okay.
stuff going on, and he like just
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
in, and since there's like the Sunwell opening, like I'm sure there's like some like flurry of snow inside, and it's just cold. Perhaps instead now the Sunwell has like a fire going on it or something.
Right. Yeah.
It's sort of like the hearth. Um, and yeah, so he like brings this in and asks Ert for and Uru, and they're like, hell yeah, like you're awesome. Let's get
Right.
so it's a great celebration. So I'm gonna draw the fire going on in the whatever you call it, in the hearth, because it's cold. That looks like fire. And then I'm going to draw a new fur near there. Um, that's the saber tooth.
I'm just thinking that essentially he brought his bed. He's like, I brought my own bed. Can I? Can
So, there's it's a joyful ceremony uh,
Yeah.
in winter, and I'm gonna name that guy just so we have it. He's not part of the family per se, but so like he can die and stuff. Just
Right.
you have full control over him, but I'm just gonna name him uh, Jarmog. Jarmog the Hunter. Oh, I should give him an age. 20. 20.
Do you want
He's
to make?
he's the guy who's the guy who played Cal Drogo.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
actor who that's totally the actor of Jarmog in this scene.
Okay, yeah, yeah. One thing
Hmm.
out of do you want to increase the size of our portraits in Roll20, or are they the?
Real talk. I don't know how to do that.
Okay, so you go to the settings, the gear,
Oh yeah, sure.
and then scroll down right underneath video and voice. It says avatar size. So if you go to the gear,
Yeah, I made it large.
Yeah. All right. Is that where?
Is that better? Yeah. Well, I mean, that's as big as I can make it, I think. I don't know how to...
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Just as a.
Jason Momoa. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy.
Totally awesome. We have now Khal Drogo.
Yeah. God, just sleeping on a saber tooth. Matt, like, yo.
All right. Is it
Saber tooth hunting and chill.
All right. Is it my go?
Yeah. And when your turn's over, what's going to happen is that we're all going to just go update everyone's age 1 year because it's going to be the next year.
Okay. 15. Ooh, violence, of course.
Nice.
Okay, I would say that so it's spring. At this point, and like everything's thawing, and some like
No, that means it's spring in the past. So this
Right.
is the early spring, or like the spring before the saber tooth guy shows up.
Okay. Oh no, because I thought he came in winter.
He did. He came in this in this year's winter. So if this is
Okay.
like year 0 to
Oh,
1, right? So
Okay,
you're doing
yeah. Oh, so this is the spring, yeah. So in the spring, these this like probably upstart um like small tribe like that lives kind of off somewhere,
Sure.
like
Yeah,
somewhere
off
close.
camera. Yeah.
Yeah. Um they kidnapped Malika,
Oh shit.
like not in like a like we're just gonna straight up kidnap her and never to like they did it as a way to try to essentially drive Urt into action.
Oh, okay.
Like they basically wanted to fight Urt, and so they like very visibly like kidnapped Malika, and Aya. Like Aya was the one who like essentially told Urt about it, because like, and there's just this scene of so this takes place in the Sunwell, and you have like Aya stumbles into the Sunwell like just cut up and
Oh,
like
yeah.
bruised from having like fought off these guys.
Yeah, and
And
escaping back to the Sunwell. Yeah.
yeah, and like telling like uncle, they've taken Malika, I killed one of them. Like you need to do something, and or just like backhands her for fighting, and then
Oh.
walks out like out of the cave. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what you get for trying to save your sister.
Right. Yeah. No. And apologies to anybody.
Oh, well, that's a really good point. So, I try to be, Robert's my good friend, but we haven't gamed that much together. So if there's anything that's uncomfortable for you, Robert, and likewise for me, we follow just like the X card. So if there's anything that's an issue, just say X. You don't have to explain why, and it's gone. So
Yeah.
that's always available.
Yeah.
So violence. My turn again.
Yeah.
Let me zoom in a little bit. 13. Move. Oh, so this is interesting. So move is actually a card where like it could potentially end the game, or a family moves. So it's my responsibility to come up for it with a reason why the family might move out. So I think it's going to be near the end of winter.
Okay.
So this is after Jason Momoa shows up with the Sabretooth. So clearly Malika's back. and I think Jarmog is going to, as sort of like part of the marriage, maybe like he's talking the terms and being like, now like Malika, like we should basically merge tribes, and Jarmog's tribe has the nicer house,
Okay.
and so they're like, we should just go with them, and like you'll be treated right, and like you'll still be the chief of your tribe. You just respond to this, like Jarmog's
Yeah.
clan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, when there's a move, um, that's the scene. After the scene, we're supposed to vote whether or not the family actually moves. Basically, is the reason given for the move likely? Given what we know, does it make sense? And second of all, do you actually want the family to move out? So,
If the family moves out.
we pick new people to move in.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I'd be fine with that. It makes sense. Like that Jarmog would have the better cave, I suppose, or
Yeah.
and that this family would leave.
Mm-hmm. So you vote first, and then I vote.
Okay. So yeah, I'll vote for leave.
Okay, I won't vote for leave. I vote no.
Okay.
They stay. So, what happens with that? That means it's they do stay, but now the next time they vote, like we vote for a move, if one person votes yes, then it happens because now there's like a +1 yes to the move, sort of like an incremental thing.
Okay.
So like there's like always now a vote in favor of moving. So okay, so there's my move, and after a move, I believe I shuffled the deck.
Which means, I mean, technically.
Yeah. That means all the dice rolls are available again.
Okay.
And it's a new year. Oh, you know what I think what changes is I think Jarmog takes his saber-tooth coat back with his family because the family, like, they're not sure if they want to move in yet. And he's like, all right, I'm going to give you some time. And so he's going to head back with his saber-tooth coat back to his land for now.
Okay.
No hard feelings. It's just, a little bit of hard feelings.
Right.
And so that's the end of year 1. So now in year 1, we just go ahead and update everyone's age, and I'm just going to go ahead and quickly do that. I should say now, betrothed to Jarmog under Malika. is now the ripe age of 36. Uru is now 51. And Aya is now 14. All right, so that was my move. All right, so now it's to you, Robert.
Sorry, check.
Yeah. Charmog's here to get married.
14. Ritual. So this is, I would say, the spring of the new year. Like, this is the new spring. And Aya is now, every spring they do a ritual, or at least Uru does a ritual in the dark room where he communes with the ancestors of these people, and in order to basically find out what the year is going to have. Like,
sure, like the signs for this year.
Yeah.
Sure.
And and Aya is now old enough to um, learn and participate in that ritual with her father.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah,
So, all right.
yeah,
So that
it,
was ritual.
yeah.
So, is there any updates to the dark room? I assume this takes place in the dark room, does it not?
Yeah, it takes place in the dark room. Um, and I would say yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be hard to draw, but I'd say there's like incense.
Oh, just maybe put like uh, gray lines or something, or pink. Yeah, that's fine.
And then now there is um Aya's incense as well.
Aya puts up a poster of Jarmok. Number one fan. All right, cool. Um, so I started the year with the move. Um, then we learned about the dark room. Um, did we learn what the omens were? What he predicted?
um, oh, this is gonna be fun. So it's going to be uh, the ancestors are um, calling the tribe to action. There's going to be a lot of action required on Earth's part this year. A lot of decisions will have to be made.
Okay,
Um,
some heavy shit.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
the okay, cool.
yeah, yeah.
He just like, he like comes out of the dark room with just his head shaking. He's like, "It sucks for you, man. It sucks for you, brother." All right, pain, awesome. Okay, so now I get to do pain. Um, so pain is show how one family member causes another suffering. All right. Um, so it's late spring. It's like April or so. Um, and in late spring, um, everyone's gathered around the Sunwell. And in the Sunwell, uh, Uru is troubled because he hasn't heard anything about Jarmog or Jarmog's family in some time. Like it's like things that the weather has cleared up. Um, we should be expecting Jarmog or an emissary from that tribe, but they haven't heard from them yet. So I think Urt decides to Urt and like some other like unnamed people like some warriors go out to go see what's going on, and they find and Jarmog's tribe completely like devastated. Like just they're all like dead and just like scraps of like things there, and there's like no sign of what killed them, whether it was like nature or other people. Like there's no bodies. There's just everything is just like gone. There might be like tatters of clothes and stuff. So like
Right.
so they come back to the Sunwell, um, and Uru cautions Urt that this is a bad omen, and kind of like from the portents from the dark room, how so he cautions his next steps, and Uru looks to Malika and and says, we can't, I'm sorry, but like we're not gonna go after and find out what happened to Jarmok. Like that just seems super dangerous. right?
Right.
And Malika's devastated, like, no, it's like that's my boy. I'm supposed to marry him. What do you mean we're not going to do this? And Uru was like, no, or excuse me, Ert's like, just no, we're not doing it. Just whatever happened to them was left to fates and whatever god they worship. But we're gonna have no part in figuring that out. We have a tribe of our own that we have to protect for. So Malika super pissed off at Art for doing this move. So pain.
Yeah. All right. Progress.
Something good happens that benefits the family as a whole. Nice. Oh, so there's no more fire because it's spring. It's just sunlight.
Yeah. I'm going to say the so this takes place at the Maw.
Okay.
And it is has been the tribe that they're constantly kind of like fighting with or bickering with, the same one that like kidnapped Malika.
Oh yeah, this third weird tribe.
Yeah, have like essentially they barely made it through the winter after what essentially Urt did to them.
Yeah.
And so they've come to Urt to basically say, hey, we recognize that you're the strong tribe here, and if you could help us, we would help you. And so there's like a tenuous alliance formed that it's like basically we're sorry we hurt you, and it's like I'm not going to kill you.
My bad.
Right, like, and so it's just this kind of very tenuous alliance where right now they're helping each other, and so like the tribe gets more food because like the hunting tribe is out there, like they have more people essentially.
Sure.
Yeah.
They have more able bodies and food supply, I guess, and stuff. Awesome.
Yeah.
It was 3. And that's the end of that year. So I'm going to update everyone. Malika, 21. $13. Move. Christ. All right. So why would they move? I'm gonna play off what you just said about the other tribe. So like they're in the Maw, and they're in the Maw, and I think the other tribe has kind of showed up, and once again they're kind of expecting the other tribe to kind of like begin sharing space and start like moving out to the other room. They're like, your cave's not that great, and Uru, like, sure, you got that sunwell, that's like super cool, but there's come with us to the other side of the glade. Over there's like some super cool stuff. More caves and stuff. Caves that we could all share in, and there's plenty of space, and there's no point us living far away if we're going to be allies.
Okay. I'm gonna vote no.
I'm gonna vote no as well. So I think that strains the ties with the tribe. No, you know what? It doesn't. I think they respect the wishes, And know what I think they do? I think they actually still build. They build like a small monument, like near the bottom of the switchback stairs, just like cementing their friendship.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a little like, what do you call, just like an arch, but it's not an arch. Like whatever. Like imagine Stonehenge, right? Like the T kind of intersection kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, just
Um,
a henge.
yeah, a henge. So like a henge sits on top of the entrance now as like a way of like showing
Okay.
that they helped him build. They're like, all right, well you could stay here, but here's something to spoof up your place. So does that make sense?
Yeah, I like it. Cool. All right. Oh, I like that henge.
Thanks, man.
That's some quality right there.
Yeah.
All right. 11. Conflict.
Fuck. Oh, that was a move, and so these all get shuffled in again, anyways. But you can begin.
Okay. Um. So I'm gonna say um that this takes place in the glade
Okay.
with Aya and Malika. And like Aya's just picking the flowers as she does. She's got like quite the collection. Like she takes bundles of them and like works them into incense.
Are these the bad flowers, or are these like the normal ones?
The bad flowers
Okay.
that it was right, that told her not to.
Yeah, the shaman.
Yeah, she's taken them and she actually works them into her incense.
Of course she does.
um, and so she's doing that, and Malika is just kind of sitting there. And Malika's been kind of messed up since all of the whole Jarmog situation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Aya, like, kind of notices this. Aya being 16 now, right? No, 15. 15, yeah. 15, like, she is now a woman and is, like, essentially able to talk to Malika in a way she hasn't been before, and convinces Malika to go out and find Jarmog. Like, to leave.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
If that's possible.
No, it's dude. You're the storyteller. That's totally possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so Malika convinces Uru?
No, Aya convinces Malika
Oh, okay, I got it. Okay.
to go out on her own.
Yeah. Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so now the beta Malika is gone.
Yeah.
She gets this nice red one because that's cool. That's... 9. Joy. Well, this is gonna be pretty obvious. What season was your last scene in?
I would say summer probably.
Summer. Okay. So, this is sort of like the time of the what do you call shit? It's not an equinox. What's the opposite of an equinox? Solstice. So it's a summer solstice, and like the day of the summer solstice, Malika comes back with this like, with just Jarmog, and like Jarmog's just like scarred and just walks with like a limp, and he has like 30 more different furs on him.
Right.
And they're like, "What's up?" And they're like, "Oh, it's a sign." And so he's back.
Along with Malika.
Yeah. And I think Malika, like, they're very happy. They're very, very happy that Jarmog is found. Jarmog won't say what happened to his tribe, but I think more importantly, I think Malika eyes Urt being like, without saying it, but just looking at Urt being like, I could have had Jarmog like a year ago if you would have let me, like if you would have just went out and found him. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
that's sort of like I'm disappointed in you, and like look, I like solved this problem that you could have solved, but you chose, like, basically rubbing in the face that he chose wrong
Right.
in the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, well shit. All right, let's close out this year and then take our first break.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep, so it's your turn.
All right. Complicate. I love how the randomness,
Yeah.
like,
Why'd you have to get so complicated?
okay. So, reveal something unexpected. So this takes place in the fall.
Sure.
Um,
So like this is after the events of Jarmog coming back.
right. And Uru who has been like preparing for the winter and has been using the dark room for like preparing for the winter, doing all the rituals and things like that. And he's been teaching Aya all of the shamanistic rituals and all of these things. But he ends up finding Aya in the dark room using those flowers in her incense, and is like, and speaking in tongues. Like Aya is like
Oh.
like kind of like I want to say what Uru experiences, like, he realizes that all of the bad shit, like all of the like omens he saw at the beginning of the year, were Aya. Like Aya's been counteracting like rituals to make things bad, essentially.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And that's why her incense is a different color.
Yeah.
Shit. Aya's like the anti-fortune.
Right. And
That's
but he doesn't. It's not like a confrontation. Like, or just note, like he like kind of looks in.
yeah, like it's like bad feng shui or something like that in a way, right? Like
Yeah.
or karma.
Yeah, and he's kind of, it's like kind of sneakily thing. Like Aya doesn't know that he knows this.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Oro try to belie that information.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So this ends the first hour of our game. The game's called House of Reeds, and stick around, and we'll be back in like 5 minutes or so, and we'll keep playing, see what happens to our Stone Age tribe.